Okay, sit yourself onto your left and then come into a good cross-legged position. Just have a little wriggle about. Just make sure that you feel evenly placed. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Spend a few moments listening to the sound of the breath, focusing on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Just soften your eyes. Soften your eyelids as you look down at the floor, looking at something that doesn't move. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Aim to completely fill the lungs. Aim to completely empty the lungs. With an out breath, bring your hand into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together, lengthening the armpits away from your elbows. And then allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Softening your jaw and your tongue and your throat. Soften the eardrums, releasing in the inner ear. Aim to fill the lungs evenly. Aim to empty the lungs evenly. If your lungs are filling unevenly, go to the seat bones. Observe if your seat bones are level and adjust if necessary. Gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Just hold on to your knees. Elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose. And then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders. Using your out breath to intensify the turn. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, elevating the heart area upwards. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose. And then turn to the left, just feeling your body's resistance. Just acknowledging that resistance, but then drawing your attention into areas of the body that present little or no resistance. And then come back to the center. Just come off your lift, but stay in cross legs. Stay on the lift if your knees are like kind of up like this, but otherwise just in normal cross legs. And then just have some blocks either side of your hips, so in line with your knees, effectively. So hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, and then reach underneath the right knee. Bring the elbow down onto the block. Have that elbow directly underneath the shoulder, and then push from the shoulder down into the elbow, and from the elbow across into the left seat bone. So really press that right elbow into the floor so that you can press that left seat bone into the floor, and then turn your abdomen up to the ceiling. Turn the top shoulder to the back of the room, and then reach up and over, looking underneath the armpit, and then breathe in and out through the nose. So the action of turning the head up to the ceiling helps to clear out the sinuses. So it's good for hayfevery symptoms where you might feel a bit sinusy, that horrible cotton wool feel in the head. Breathe in and out through the nose. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, and then reach underneath the left knee, bringing the left elbow onto the block. And then again, push in that elbow into the block really firmly, and then lengthen the right seat bone away from that left elbow. Turn the chest up and then reach up and over, looking up underneath the armpit, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Pushing that right seat bone down really firmly by really activating that left elbow, so that you get a tremendous stretch along that right side of the body. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. We'll just do a few rounds of Brahmari, where you just inhale through the nose, a normal inhalation, and then a hummed exhalation until the lungs are empty. So when you're ready, you can close your eyes. Just focus on a normal inhalation, a normal exhalation, a normal inhalation, and then we will begin. We'll just do 3. And then a normal inhalation, a normal exhalation. Just spending a little moment just to bring your breath back to a normal rhythm. And then open your eyes. And then come onto all fours. Have your hands as wide apart as your mat. Spread your fingers, spread your palms, turn your toes under. And then come up into dog down. So this will have a different effect on the sinuses. So just breathe through the closing effect on the sinuses. Aim to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Keep the face completely neutral, completely soft. Let the skin of the face just hang down to the floor. Try not to hold it. Just let the face relax. But focusing on inhalations and exhalations. Just let the facial muscles release. And focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Activating the legs and the arms, lifting the seat bones and the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Just let the face soften. And then step your feet forward. Just come back up into a standing position. Just be in Tadasana. There's something going on with my computer. There's something on in the background. So be in Tadasana. Just have the hands at the sides of the body. And lift up into the chest. So let the facial muscles relax. But of course, gravity is different. So just let the facial muscles soften. Just wear a neutral expression. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet apart. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out, and then come down into trikonasana. Turn the chest up to face the ceiling. Turn the head up to face the top arm. And then again, breathe in through the nose, down through the nose. Just working to clear out the sinuses. But don't forget about the pose. Activate that perfect alignment of the pose. So go back to the learning of previous sessions and bring those points of learning into this existing pose right now, while taking deep inhalations and exhalations in through the nose and out through the nose. Just look down at the foot, Is your head in line with your foot, or is it in front of the foot? So lift the chest, squeeze the front leg buttock bone in, and then look up again. Come back to the centre, swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out, and then come down to the left side, looking up, activating your alignment. I'm not giving you specific instructions, we're doing this to clear out the sinuses. But of course, the pose itself is important, so bring your prior learning into this moment now. Again, look down at the floor. Is your head in line with your foot? If it's not, then lift the chest a little more, squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards, and then look up, back up. Again, the movement of the head again just helps to clear out the sinuses as well. And then come back to center, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump, feet back together, come back into Tadasana. Just breathe even, deep inhalations and exhalations. And then come down onto your knees and fold over the left side of your mat, like this. You might also need a folded blanket on top of the mat, just to help you to keep your shins down. So have a folded blanket on top of the mat, and then just kneel on the mat. So we can do parighasana, the gate pose. So kneeling on the blanket will just give you more ability to keep the shins down when we come into the pose. So just establish your shins into the floor, into the mat, into the blanket, and then lift up into your heart area. Just breathe even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Softening the jaw and the tongue and the throat. Softening the facial muscles. Just let in the facial muscles wear a neutral expression. If you really let go of your face, you can really feel it, how you suddenly just let your face give in to gravity. And then come up onto your knees. See if you can really keep the shins down. That's the tricky bit, isn't it? Bring your right knee forwards, and then really stamp that left shin firmly into the floor. Sorry, you might need a block. So have a block on your left side. Sorry, I forgot to say that. So press the shin, that left shin into the floor. Turn the right knee out to the side so that it's in line with the edge of your mat, so that you know that you're in line with yourself. And then turn that leg. Keep that left shin down, and then reach over, find the block with your foot. So you want a very slight slant here. You don't want it like sticking out like that. You want a very slight slant here, from the knee to the hip. Turn the front thigh, lift up into the chest, broaden the chest. Turn the abdomen from the right to the left as you reach down. Turning the abdomen from the right to the left. Squeezing that front leg buttock bone in like you're doing Tadasana. And then reach up and over, looking underneath the armpit. If you can turn the palm to face upwards of that right hand, and then we're trying to reach down to that right foot. But we probably won't get there, but you can still try. Turning the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then come back to the center. And then bring that leg in. And then just sit back on your heels. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So these are all good sinus clearing poses. Swap the equipment around. So turn the right end of the mat, just fold the right end of the mat over with the blanket on top. Stretch out the left side of the mat and then put the block for your foot on the end of that mat, and then come down onto your knees. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Push the shins into the floor. Just using this pose as much as anything just to relax the legs. Activate your shins into the floor. So your knees hip width apart. And then come up onto your knees. Press the shins into the floor. Bring the left leg forwards this time. Keep pressing that right shin into the floor. That's the difficult bit with this, isn't it? Keeping that right shin activated. Bring the left foot out to the side. Keeping that that right shin activated. That's like the back leg of trikonasana, isn't it? So that has to stay really active, otherwise you lose the pose. Stretch over, find the foot onto the block, turn the leg, and then slide the hand down the back, down the leg. Turn the abdomen from the right to the left. Look up, reach up and over, so that top hand is in line with the left foot. If you can, turn the palm, that left arm to face upwards, and then reach up and over, looking underneath the armpit, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Squeezing that front leg buttock bone forwards, pushing that right shin firmly into the floor. And then come back to center, and then just sit back on your heels, just getting your breath back. Just listening to the breath, focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Just observing the sinus region. Perhaps you can breathe a little more clearly. Just listen to the breath. Okay, come up onto your knees and then take the blanket away. Just move that out of the way. Just stretch your mat out. And then have a block on the right side of your mat. I found my glasses, they're over here. I can see. So have the block on the right side. We can do parsvakonasana. Just listen to your breath. Just lift up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Really activating your tadasana. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump, go wide. Go a little wider than for trikonasana. Turn the left toes in slightly, the right leg and foot all the way out. Just keeping this back leg straight. You're going to bend the front knee, keeping that back leg really straight, and then reach down, find the block. Or you can reach it all the way down to the floor. But I want you to really concentrate on turning the chest. So Using the block will just give you a little bit more space to do that. So turn the abdomen from the right to the left. Turn this top shoulder towards the back of the room. Reach up and over, looking underneath the armpit. Breathing in through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Turning the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, turning the abdomen to face the ceiling. And then come back to the center, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together. Just come back into Tadasana. Put your block onto the left side, this way you're not going to jump on it. Just be in Tadasana, and then step or jump, the feet nice and wide, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out, bend in that front leg, keeping the back leg straight, reach down, find the block with the hand, with the left hand, turn the abdomen. Turn the ribs, turn the shoulder. Reach up and over, creating a straight line between the leg and the top arm. And then turn the chest, look underneath the armpit and inhale in and out through the nose. And then come back to the center, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together, and then come back into Tadasana. Just breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Listening to the breath. And then bring your feet hip width apart. If you've got a problem with your back, I just want you to come halfway, just bringing your arms, just resting on the back of a table or on the back of a chair or on top of a table. Just stretching your arms out. Otherwise, you can go into full uttanasana, activating the legs. Have the feet hip width apart, turning the toes in. Activate the kneecaps. Hit the thighs back so that your weight is in your heels. Tuck the tailbone in momentarily. Hook the thumbs into the crease of the opposite elbows, wrapping your fingers around the outsides of the elbows, and then hinge at the hips, raising the tailbone up to the ceiling. Just let the body hang down. Just breathing in and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So this can have an opposite effect on the sinuses, but it's bringing good oxygenized blood into the head. So again, just let your face relax. Let gravity pull it to the floor. So allowing the face to relax is really good for your facial flexibility. It's actually quite hard to let go of the face. So just observe it. Okay, and then just release your hands down to the floor. Bring your hands into your hips and then come up into standing position. Just be in Tadasana. So you might feel a little lightheaded from coming up quickly, so just take deep in breaths and out breaths. Okay, and then come down onto your mat. Have a bolster for underneath your head, and sorry, for underneath your back. Have a blanket for underneath your head, and then come down into supta, baddha konasana. Just laying yourself down with the bolster in the back, broadening the front chest, broadening the abdomen. Just allow there to be opening in the front chest. If your head rolls back, then put more lift underneath your head so that your chin isn't lower than, so your forehead isn't lower than your chin. Then just a measure for keeping the sinuses open. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Feeling how you can inhale into the lungs, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, filling the lungs evenly. Just listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Okay, push your elbows into the floor, lift your head, lift your chest, and then lift your head, and then just come into baddha konasana. Hold on to the big toes. Hold on to the big toes. And then lift your chest to the ceiling. Drawing your shoulders down. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then just coming to cross legs for a moment. Just hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating your heart area up to the ceiling. And then turn to the right side, just drawing your abdomen across. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees and then turn all the way to the left. Digging the backhand firmly into the floor, turning the chest. And then come back to the center. So we're going to go into viparita karanhi with the bolster in the back. So you come down onto your back and then you're going to lift the seat bones up, bring the bolster into the small of the back, or you can just use cushions if you haven't got a bolster. Hold on to the bolster, bring the knees in towards your chest and then stretch your legs up to the ceiling. So you don't want your legs over your face. You want your legs at 12 o'clock. So then you can plant the tailbone down and then lift the chest. Come right onto the tops of the shoulders. Push the heels to the ceiling. Lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. If you're on a period, don't stay in viparita karanhi too long. You can just bring your knees down onto the floor like this, so you can just come down, just resting your legs on the floor rather than keeping your legs up in the air for too long. Just listen to the breath, soften the face. Soften your face, soften your jaw and your tongue and your throat. And then bend your knees, bring your feet down onto the floor. Just stay with the bolster underneath you, with your feet on the floor, just resting your back into the floor. So your seat bones into the bolster, your feet into the floor. Keep the chest lifted if you can. Just breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. And then lift the seat bones. Just roll the bolster away and then just bring the seat bones down to the floor Have your feet on the bolster, the feet apart, the knees together, just resting your back into the floor. And then roll onto your side to sit yourself up. Just get a blanket for your head. And then I want you to put your bolster on top of your legs for Shavasana. So come into the Shavasana, just make sure you're in a good straight line, and then put your bolster on top of the thighs, because we worked quite hard in the legs, and a little gentle weight on the legs will help to relax your legs. So just close your eyes, have a blanket underneath your head and the neck. Just allow your face to completely soften. Allow the brain cells to move from the front of the brain down towards the base of the skull. Consciously release in the inner ear. Just observe the feeling of release in the face, letting the facial muscles relax, relaxing around the forehead, by softening the jaw and the tongue. Just allowing the body to completely release into the floor, feeling the muscles radiating from energy from the bones, feeling that energy radiating into the organs. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to evenly distribute your energy down into the toes, into your fingers, into the top of your head. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And then just move the bolster off your legs, pull your knees in toward your chest, just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then gently roll over onto your side. Just stay down for a breath or two. Just rolling onto the right side. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Final cross legs with hands in Namaste, just a final spinal lift. Draw the breath in through your nose down into your abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards, just connecting the tip of the index finger with the thumb. Just gently lengthening the other fingers away from the palms, just a gesture of peacefulness and wisdom that we can carry into our day. And then as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you cleared your sinuses a little and you also just filled yourself up with really good energy. So thank you very much for joining me.